Alrighty then, back once again for some more Once Upon a Time, Season 3, Episode 11. As you can see by the fact that I have the same shirt, it is still the night of the 7th of August for me. Well, technically it's now in the AM for the 8th, but that's by the by, based on time zones and stuff. But I did ultimately decide on watching one more episode, at least. I'm having too much fun to just quit. I thought I may have been flagging a little bit. That's why I called a bit of a we'll see in terms of seeing another episode. But after I took a lap around the house, I took on some more food, and I ended up thinking, you know what? Let's make this an even 4 at the very least. Let's do a 4th. We have to do a 4th. There's still plenty of time before bed. And if I end up really cliffhangered and blue-balled, I might be in for a 5th of this marathon. I might be. But we shall have to see on that front. As of now, I plan to end with this. But if the ending pulls me in hard enough, I will be jumping into one more. But after that, I will have to cut it off. So, yeah, that's where I stand. Once Upon a Time keeps cranking things up. We've got this crazy new plan with Pan and Felix, I think his name was. We're going to turn Storybrooke into the new Neverland by reenacting the curse. So everyone's going to lose their memories, but importantly for Pan and Felix, everybody is going to be frozen in time again, forever looping that same day. And that suits them just perfectly because they don't want to age. So well, we're going to see how they get on, because the start of this episode begins with them. So, because obviously, you know, if there's a recap, I always skip it. But it's like, oh no, we're starting with them? Okay, well, let's go. So, let's go. Well, okay. What did I say? Guys? What did I say? I bet you were all laughing at me at the start of this reaction when I started saying, you know, depending on how this episode goes, you know, if it's just like a run-of-the-mill episode, I'm going to call it here. I'm going to end. But if it drops another bombshell on me, gives me some kind of major cliffhanger, you know I'm going to want to check out the next one. You guys, you were probably rubbing your hands together like, oh, to say that when all of this is gonna happen. Oh, like, if only you knew, you poor sweet summer child. Heidi, tell me that, like, you found that very deliciously amusing. I was like, oh, you know, if something major happens, and then all of this goes ahead and happens. Like, oh no, he said that on this episode? I guess he's going to record another video. I'm sure that's what you were thinking, Heidi. That seals it. I've got to watch a 5th episode tonight. I have to. Oh my goodness. This episode, give me the smackdown up and down the ring. I'm in the rafters and then I'm being driven under the ring. Like, oh, my brain. As we get Rumpel's whole self-sacrifice, everybody distraught, like, ripping through me. Then Then we have this whole thing of everybody has to go back to the Enchanted Forest, but due to erasing memories for everyone involved, it's like they're going to go back to being like just stories, and they won't remember their time in Storybrooke. Storybrooke's gone at like these major changes. What is happening? I thought, we come back to Storybrooke, we stay in Storybrooke. No, turns out the Greg and Tamara era of Storybrooke was the last ever era of Storybrooke. I refuse to believe that. I choose to believe that we will somehow get Storybrooke back. Rebuild it from scratch if we have to. Like, Henry's like, I've lived, Henry and Regina have lived in there so many years. It's like, we know how to build it from memory. like, just bring it back somehow. So after all of that heartbreak, including the fact that Regina, the absolute sweetheart, in a final great act, her reformation is so wonderful. Like, for her to give Emma and Henry these pleasant memories of a life lived to the fullest that they could have had but didn't, but they think they've had it, that is, like, beautifully tragic. And then for us to skip a year ahead, and then to parallel the first episode with Hook, one of my favourite characters. Hook, of all people, comes knocking at the door just like Henry did. Oh my gosh. Like, obviously the big gnawing question at the back of my throat is, how? Like, surely he got sucked up along with everyone else. We saw the empty road. Like, so what gives? Somehow he has his memories. Somehow he is back in our world, and it only took a year or less, depending on, how long it took him to travel and track down where she is, that kind of thing. But the time difference from whenever that was is still under a year. And what? So what happened to everybody's memories disappearing? Or is it to do with the dimension hopping beans? Did he come here by chance, and upon landing here, because I don't know, like, did coming back here bring those memories back? Like, whoa, oh yeah, this is what happened. Like, I don't know if that's how it works, or if we're going to have to be filled in on a bunch of back and forth storytelling to show what the heck happened in the Enchanted Forest version that made Hook end up coming here. It's like, you can't just do that to me and expect me not to immediately watch the next episode. I don't know how people deal with, or how people dealt in the past, before the internet days, dealt with having to be cliffhangered like that at the end of an episode and have to wait 7 days to see the next episode. Bruh, couldn't be me. No. If I watched things on telly, it would be things that were purely episodic, like The Simpsons. Even stuff that had a story, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Stargate SG-1, I remember us watching it almost every dinner time. So that was on daily. That wasn't something I had to wait a week for. But I think with things like this, you do wait a week, I think. I know that you probably have weekly release. I'm sure it did something like that. But I'm just struggling to comprehend that in only the third season out of how many there are, we've done something this major? Really? I am a little bit worried about jumping the shark, but people have so much fondness for these later seasons, like just as much as the first. Like, I know that some say one of the lassies isn't really the greatest, but apparently there's a lot of greatness around it. So it's like, What? Like, this has to somehow escalate while maintaining quality. And for a show that has already astounded me as much as it has with everything that's thrown at me so far, that is frightening. That's a really scary concept. That this show can reach even greater heights than it already is right now in front of my screen, right in front of my salad. Like, it's insane. I'm speechless. Well, not really, but and Hook, my boy, like, it makes me think of Graham in season 1, poor old Graham the sheriff. Like, what is it with Emma and guys completely surprising her by forcing a kiss on her? She's gonna have to start filing restraining orders. Like, yeah, oh, Hook, buddy, yeah, I get the idea, I do, truly, but you should have known there was a 99% chance that was going to happen. She's just going to think you're a creep. like you got to realize no one's just going to believe you when you come up to the door like, hey, you don't remember me, but gives a smooch. like that's not how it works. Like, so he's going to have to find some way to convince her, just like Henry had to find a way to convince her in the beginning. Like, because as of right now, they are normal civilians. They have led a normal life together after Emma got out of prison. Like, in their heads, they think that's what's happened. Like, they're going to not believe in magic all over again. They're not going to believe in Storybrooke all over again. Like, this is going to be difficult. This is essentially Hook's story now, except a clueless Emma and Henry are coming along for the ride, hopefully, until they get their memories back. This is giving me a headache. I'm probably going to have to take another break before I watch the next episode, but it is getting watched. It is. Oh, so, yeah. Wow. Oh my gosh, I really did not know what I was setting myself up for. I had the chance to go to bed. I had the chance to not go for one more episode, which was this one. I also had the chance not to make a promise. I did. I didn't have to say, you know what, if this episode really goes all out at the end, then sure, I'll watch the next one. I was a naive fool. I was a naive fool. And you know what? I ain't even mad. Any excuse to get more of this show watched is a fantastic one. I do not mind one bit. I'm not pushing myself. I'm not going past any tired boundaries. I am fully hydrated. Watching this show causes me no discomfort or displeasure. All, in fact, are the opposite. So I see no reason why I shouldn't watch another. Like, by my standards, the night is still young. By my standards, this show is incredible. Like this season, if this is how it is throughout, it's going to be tough to top as my favourite season overall. As a completed package and storyline, this has been handled mountains and leagues better than the whole Greg and Tamara and organisation stuff ever was. The only credit I can give all of that nonsense that happened before is that it was leading into the Neverland plot, which ended up being one of the best parts of Once Upon a Time since the initial curse stuff. This is some of the most golden stuff, and I'm really hoping that the whole season is a solid gold brick in this vein, and it will go down as a very hard to beat contender for my favourite season of the show. Like, we're barely even halfway through it. That is the scary part. That is the scary part. So yeah, I'm going to take a quick break and then jump into the next episode. But until then, I shall see you guys next time.